One of the moments, clubhouse moments I had was the time you went fishing and you got a snake and you killed it.
Yeah, right.
You remember this?
Yeah, I remember that.
You put it underneath my glove in the locker room, and then you tied a string to it and then ran it through the hat loops to the other side. And so you waited until I got in, sat down,
pulled that string,
pulled that snake.
How high did you jump?
And I fell back and fell into the grocery cart that they have in clubhouses that keep the clothes and stuff in a trash can. So you knew I didn't like snakes.
No.
But one of the things I really appreciate is, my first major league game was with you. I grew up, as you know, a Cub fan. Grew up in Illinois, watched you growing up. Actually went to a game where you hit a couple of home runs.
Against Montreal. I remember.
Was it Montreal? You hit 2 home runs in a game, and I was there that day. But I watched you, and then to have my first major league game with you on the mound was amazing against the world champion Oakland A's. They had been champs, I think, the previous 2 years, and
we had that. I had a meeting. We talked about it, and I said, Sonny, I've been in Arizona, and that's where Oakland's at. They're in Mesa, and the Cubs are in Scottsdale. I said, I've seen these guys. I know exactly how to pitch them, and just put the sign down. Let's go get them.
And I think, if I believe right, you were 5-0 against Oakland that year.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of numbers I remember about that year with you. You had 28 complete games, which is amazing. And the fact that you threw a one-hitter, Campaneris, a swinging bunt out in front of home plate.
Yeah, and Fergie threw the ball behind me. And they gave him a hit. And they flashed it once, I don't know, I think it was the second time to the plate, Burt's. So they flashed a hit. So they expected Oakland was going to get some hits. Game went along according to schedule, got him out, and one hitter.
That could have very well been a no-hitter. As I look back on that, I mean, they didn't even get a ball out of the infield. You actually had the Oakland A's swinging at breaking balls that were hitting in front of home plate.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because, I had a pretty good slider. So this was the reason why, especially Rudy and Jackson, Tennis. It was a few guys. They expected for me to throw a lot of strikes, and they weren't swinging at strikes. Mm-hmm. So it's their fault.
I've always felt you to be the not only my favorite pitcher to catch, but the best pitcher. I've caught 9 Hall of Famers. And you were the first one, and of course Gaylord, Nolan, and a bunch more. But you obviously, your command and your presence and your control on the mound and your tenacity, your grit.
I used to go right after him. If you're coming to the plate, I made you swing the bat. If you weren't swinging, they're going to get called strikes. Because I had that, I think, uncanny control. I worked at it from time to time with the Cubs, but when I came here to Texas, it just seemed to flow, and it worked out great.
And I recall that sometimes you hit, instead of walking a guy, you hit him 3-2.
I did that a couple of times. Don't tell anybody.
No. You didn't want to put a walk on the board.
Well, hey, if it was a situation where I knew that this guy was a better hitter, especially against me, hey, let's plunk him, put him on, especially in that situation. Yeah.
What other memories together did you have?
Well, geez, we had a couple of really good games. We had a good game against the Tigers, too. I think it was here that we had a low-scoring game, a low-hit game. But remember when Bibby got the flu, the last
game of the year.
Last game of the year. He said he couldn't start. And I had 2 days rest. I said, I'll pitch the game. And I asked Billy Martin if I could be in the lineup to hit. Billy said, fine, go ahead. They ended up winning that game.
I remember that. Bibby was 19-19, and we wondered what was really going on there, whether he was really sick or he didn't want 20 losses.
That's right, yeah.
But you took it, you had short rest. I remember that. You took it and won the game, won your 25th.
We won the game 2-1, and that was at Pooch. I'm trying to think, the relief pitcher came in. I pitched 7 innings. Foucault. He came in and pitched the last 2 innings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pitched 7 innings in that game.
You were kind of a master at using that stair stepping, going, if a guy swings at a pitch here and misses, well, let's try the one here.
Just another 4 or 5 inches higher. Just
keep
stair
going.
step them. Yeah.
But you also did it outside.
Yeah. Well, hey, I love Joe Rudy and the catcher with
Tennis?
Baltimore.
Oh, was it Rodriguez or
No.
Dempsey?
Dempsey couldn't hit a slider. And I'd throw that ball here, and then here, and then here. And he used to walk back and go, I can't hit him. Well, it's not my fault. You can't. You're swinging at it. And Earl Weaver always had him catch. He caught all the time. I remember the one game, Jim Palmer night, he didn't want to catch. And we beat, I think we beat him like 3-0. Beat Baltimore that night, Jim Palmer night. But that was, there were some great games that we had together. Why should I shake you off? You put the right sign down, let's go get him.
Well, it's easy when you count on the pitcher throwing a ball in the right location. You had that kind of command that you could do that. You always made me feel included, even though I felt like anybody could catch you and call a game because you just made it so easy. And I remember a stretch of about 10 games where I don't remember even having to move my glove. You would basically hit it.
Had the command, yeah.
As that command.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about it. I think if you work at it, I always thought that, and I tell youngsters now, batting practice will give you an edge, especially knowing where you want to throw the ball, the command of where you want to throw. In batting practice, when you see the hitter, either a left-hander or a right-hander, you can put it basically where you want. And batting practice helps you, but you don't see coaches throw batting practice now. I always thought that every second, third day, if I go out there and throw to the extra men, it helps with my control. And I did it most of my career.
What about the game in Baltimore with Billy when we couldn't get Willie Davis out? I think it was Willie Davis, and he said, "Tell him what's coming."
Tommy Davis.
Tommy Davis.
Tell him what's coming. Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
You're on the mound winding up going, curveball. And I've already told him the curveball's coming. And we started getting him out, and he got mad.
Oh, yeah. He got ticked. Well, it's a mind game, too. There's a lot of guys who they just play with their mind just a little bit. Just let them think they've got the edge, but they don't have the edge, especially for hitters.
Yeah. That is amazing, because I had never in baseball never been to where the manager said, "Tell them what's coming," and go with that.
Yeah, because they'd hit us. I think Davis had some good games against us. So hey, let them know. Hey, this is it. You remind me of a story that I mention a lot of times when I do a banquet or I have a father and son thing in Fenway Park. Because of the wall, and Yaz is playing left field, and I'm trying to think of the shortstop is Rooster.
Petrocelli?
No. Oh man, I can't think of his name now. But I used to always say, when I turned around, such and such is in my back pocket, and over my shoulder is your Skrimsky. So don't give up a high fly ball because it's going to be gone. It's just it's such a small park.
Oh yeah.
When you think about it, that when you're on the mound and you look, that wall looks real close. And you give up a home run. I remember Fergosi, Louis Tiant gave up a home run, and Fergosi's out there in outfield shaking his head like this. He didn't even look. He didn't even go back on the ball. He knew it was gone. But, you could, as a pitcher, you could tell when that ball's hit hard, it's just that sound. You go, oh, wait for the umpire to give you a new one. Put your hand out, get a new ball. Turnpike Stadium, the wind blew out. It blew out early to right, and then you had to be real careful to left late in the game.
Yeah, it's kind of when the at the old ballpark, once the summer southeast wind started blowing in, it was really hard. You had to keep the ball down to hit a home run.
Yeah.
And a number of times Jeff Burrows,
He'd hit balls in right field, they wouldn't go out.
They wouldn't go out, and he would just shake his head and trot back. He was frustrated. But that first year, you won Comeback Player of the Year. Billy Martin was Manager of the Year. Grover was Rookie of the Year. And I'm trying to think. We had one more award winner in there. Burrows was MVP.
MVP, right?
MVP that year.
He had like 30 some home runs and over 100 RBIs. Yeah, he had a good year.
And I remember the gutter stunk. The sewage
in the back. Oh yeah, around the stands. You could smell late in the game. Oh yeah. Or you play a 7 or 8 game homestand and they don't clean it out after the 3rd or 4th game. You can smell that. Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
I remember Mickey Rivers. When I think of the old stadium, I think of Mickey Rivers one game. Was in his underwear playing cards. Didn't start the game. Was in his underwear playing cards down in the right field corner.
Yeah.
And with the ground crew, and all of a sudden they wanted Mickey to hit.
Yeah.
And it took him 5 minutes to find him. And he came out into the dugout trying to pull his pants up and pull his socks up and just grabs the bat, no practice swings, and gets up and he hits a line drive, base hit. And but we didn't even have a batting cage in the old stadium. Not until later on did we have any kind of a batting cage to actually hit in.
That was a good old ballpark. I mean, it just made you think when you were there. But I can recall one time I was fishing, and I got caught, and we were playing, I'm pretty sure, maybe the Yankees, and I was fishing at Texoma. I caught some stripers, and I was coming back right about just a mile or so from Six Flags. Traffic got really heavy, and I went, oh man, the game's at 7:05, and now it's almost 10 after 6. I went, oh, I don't know if I can get to the stadium in time. I was pitching.
I know.
And I get to the parking lot. I threw the keys to somebody, and I ran in, and Billy's right there. He says, where in the hell you been? I said, Skip, I got caught in the trap. I was fishing. He says, we're going to talk when the game's over. I'm glad I pitched well.
I remember that. In fact, you were someone that actually would come in later anyway. You weren't on the day you pitched. You weren't and it was just kind of your game
routine,
phase, wasn't it?
And I can recall, I just threw the keys to whoever the parking lot. I said, park it. I ran in, got changed, put a little heat on my arm, and busted out there. And he was waiting on me too. He says, we'll talk when this game's over. I'm glad I pitched good that night. Yeah, I mean, it was that ballpark to me had some significant situations. It was a good infield. I always had, when you're on the mound, you can always see the background. If the background's easier to see, it's easier to pitch a lot of times. And the lights were good. They had good lights. Yeah.
There was a game in the old stadium that Nolan was pitching for California against us. Clyde Wright, who had been a teammate of his in Anaheim, was pitching for us that night. And since Clyde was out on the mound first, after he got through pitching the top of the first inning, he took a little rubber snake and laid it in the grass. Because you know how Nolan would,
he'd walk around,
prance around and look in the grass. Before he saw that snake, he looked down at it. He knew exactly what had happened. He picked up that snake and rifled it into our dugout.
Yeah, right. I threw out, when we had opening day, remember with George Bush had us throw opening day. Remember the time you ripped your pants?
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Yes, with Nolan.
Yeah. You went down to catch it, and Nolan threw it. Pants are ripped.
Nolan threw a pea at my shin, and I wouldn't expect him to throw the ball hard, and all of a sudden he wound up, and he did that big leg kick, and I go, oh, crap. And I spread out just a little bit, and all of a sudden he throws it down here, and I went down to get it here, and it's like a bomb went off in my pants. They just they ripped.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I had a belt on. But,
up the crotch, that's it. But I had to throw. I threw the second pitch, the second time. But you were already. I don't know how you fixed your pants. but they were ripped. They were gone.
They're not. They're not fixed. I actually had Nolan sign them.
Did you really?
They're at my
And
house.
you kept them?
I actually kept them. I put them in a little container.
Trophy case.
But the old stadium was, the stadium we never played in.
Right.
The previous one was really nice, but this one is amazing.
I think it's a great stadium.
Take you about a week to get around and
Yeah,
get,
right.
and get acquainted with everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and here's one thing. You haven't went to the clubhouse yet, have you?
No.
Oh, I had a chance with the alumni. Tawny Taylor, who was a great lady, gave some of the alumni players an opportunity to come in and see the stadium before they came
Right.
to play.
Yeah.
And one of the clubhouse individuals was there, took us into the clubhouse. They have a barber shop. They have a therapy room.
You don't need a barber.
No, but I shave my own head.
Yeah.
But they have a barber shop, a therapy room. They have a quiet room. The clubhouse is incredible. You have to have a combination to get in your locker now. It's incredible. The lockers are this wide. No joke. They're about 35 to 40 inches wide. And you have to have a combination to open it up and hang your clothes. And they don't put your uniform in there. There's a circular area where they put your game day. They put the team that you're going to be suited up with, the throwback uniforms and everything. And then they have an area where you can put your spikes underneath. It dries your shoes if their shoes are wet. It's incredible. I mean, they got everything here. I mean, it's incredible. Cafeteria. I mean,
When you think about how we used to lock up our valuables back in the old stadium,
right, have a big trunk.
Big trunk that had our numbers on it, and we put all our valuables in there.
That's right. You put it in the valuable bag. But now the combination, you know it, and everything is set in your locker. It's incredible.
I'll never forget it. On payday, we were both by the old box, and you pulled out your check and you said, "Kid, how'd you like to have a little bit of that?"
Yeah, right.
And I'll never forget.
I had a couple of big checks.
$14,139.59 for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Take home. I never forgot it. My take home was like $800.
Yeah. I mean, I was making pretty good money when I was here.
Yeah.
I think
You were one of the first 100,000?
Yeah, first with the Cubs, 100,000. And here I was making 250,000. Then I went to, I think when I went to Boston, I was making 275 or something. But that was pretty good money back then.
So what do you think you make
these
today?
guys, it's all direct deposit. You don't even see it. You don't see your money.
You'd be in the 20 millions today.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you would be.
When I get a hold of my banker and say, how's my bank account going? That'd be something.
You'd have 2 or 3 boats instead of one.
Oh yeah, no joke. I keep a boat at that marina. Don't have to hook it up and travel there. Just go to the marina.
You have about 6 lakes you fished here.
Yeah, right. And just say, hey, is my boat ready yet? Give them a call. Yeah, that'd be fun to do. Yeah. But this stadium here is incredible. It's got a bar and everything. Jeez. You don't see that in ballparks anymore. A bar.
No, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing facility.
Yeah.
Hey Fergie, man, this
has been outstanding. Good seeing you.
Great, man.
We got to do it again.
We need to, and we
For sure.
have to have dinner or something soon.
That sounds good.
So
It's okay with me.
Great to see you.
All
Look
right.
great.
All right, Sonny.